happiness that morning is. Just is. Just on its own. Outside the hiss and song of whatever serpents and larks are playing throughout the chambers of our hearts, the morning doesn't care. It doesn't care. Look out that window there. The fact is, I could slip my wrist up here, that sun would still persist. The birds would still pick seeds out of their feathers and sip the dew blown from those mountains, whether I cry, or dance, or die. Be assured, the morning will not be in the least disturbed. Out there's a joy that will remain, no matter what the result of our dramas and chatter. If you learn one thing from me, let that be it. Okay, any of you still need to get your yellow forms to me? Please do, please, by end of class, or you'll incur the fees, the yellow forms, all right? All right. Now, some of you might know I spent the night out in the forest. After what happened? Alone. Not so fun. This morning, to be shown these faces, all of them. You're all here. Even you! You've never come on here! You're like 100 suns who've risen to unink the gloom of my night's prison. It means more to me than I could ever say to you on this, perhaps my final day. All right, let's get this done. I'll begin by saying that, one, I have special happiness this day as the result of last night's passionate play. The morning's joy has nothing on mine. The morning's joy is well and fine, but I've got a happiness that's like, it's weird. It rings me like a cylinder that's mirrored on both its inside and its out, and so reflects exterior fears. All doubts and low esteem of self deflects all that away. While I, here snug within, as safe as clay within my shining tube of happiness, immune to all life's crappiness, can look hard into the inside mirror and see into myself and know no fear. I look inside myself today. I look within and do not turn away from anything. The webs, the salted snow in there. My usual happiness, you know, is very spirited, like a jumpy gas whose bubbles I amass to lift me out of my inner grindings and goth, to carry me away on a spastic froth. While this is more. It's more like breath, a calm that lets me face all troubles with aplomb. That's number one. Now number two. I am so sorry if any of you were made distracted or upset by hearing tell or witnessing yet what I and Professor Parker did last night out by the hedge and oak there in plain sight. But if it makes a difference, and it should just flip this matter to the good. Look, we love each other very much, Ellen and I. And the thing that's been such a central point all term, if there's one thing that you've learned from the poetry of William Blake, and really what convincing does this take, is love makes all the difference. Just because. It does. It does. It does. It does! With love, all things are better, not worse. As love, in fact, is real and does immerse us all, like morning in its reality, and gives a certain luminosity to everything it comes to brush against. It's just common sense. Two people in love committing a murder seems a better thing to us than where there's only one committing the same. And why? Because a single person's just some guy, alone, a lonely person. And all he's done as a single lonely person, killing someone, is make himself, that's right, just more alone. But love, we know, creates a magic zone. Lovers make assassination seem more a tender assignation. It highlights their togetherness. But Ellen and I, our crime, of course, was less, much less than murder, yes. What did we do? We read an old poem out loud to you. While reading, sure, it now sounds somewhat crass. Add it to the relations on the grass. Twilight's blue in front of all of you. And now for this, we would be finished here. We would be finished after 15 years. And not just us. The regents say that they might have to close the school. What with the way the papers picked the story up so fast, I guess the pictures that you took got passed along. The money thing was bad before all this. Enrollment now will hit the floor, they say. Unless I'm told we apologize for this public showing of our dew-dipped thighs. Say we're sorry. Me this morning to you, and Ellen after lunch to her class at 2.
I'm sorry.
And yes, I'm happy to. My mood being such this morning, happy, there's just not too much that I refuse, and it will be sincere. Above all, though, I'd like to make things clear. I'll show that what we did beneath that tree relates directly to Blake's poetry. That what we did out on that lawn makes sense of every line in Songs of Innocence.
I'm sorry.
We'll finally see what words can really mean. And then I think that you and President Dean, the board, and all your parents will understand. And Ellen too, as she extends a hand this afternoon, she will explain as well. And better than me, she always did excel at what we need a lover most to do. Make sane the madness that love brings us to.
I'm sorry.
We're not the first to play at Eden, are we? But here, I'll say it, true. I am sorry.
I'm sorry, but I want this day set free. Our last afternoon with William Blake to be a celebration, just as I aspire to join to every day. It's dance, it's choir. I want of every day a fatted bliss. And let me tell you, I succeed in this. I am at war with sorrow and distress and have no heart for gray-lipped confessing. Of what? I'm like Baryshnikov. Each day a dance, a joy, so fuck off. I'm sorry to take that tone, but on this campus, there is one who used last night's rumpus, what happened between myself and Mr. Barrow out by the hedge, would use that event to narrow my sluices, damn and perplex life's sea, heal fail. This day will find its ecstasy. He thinks last night was a scandal? Yawn. One cock and a pussy on the lawn. This day will bloom 1,000 rosewood trees to pleasure its aching vulva, if need be. He thinks that happiness is outside, somewhere outside of us, out in the dirt or air, something that by his devious fuckery can be kept out by idiotic decree and his dumb-packed battlements of woe. But happiness has its kingdom here. You know it lives and shouts and rules inside of us, inside, and thus it's not a thing to try to worm or wind its way into the dark cage of our mind. It's born there. It's always been a part of each of us, inside our skull, our heart, inside but never hidden. No. It hovers patiently as nerves that swell the lover's lip are always there, just waiting to be asked. Come on, come up. No magic need be tasked. It's all inevitable. And only he, the dry-humping, rot-minded flea, who's proud to be called president of this dump, he believes he has got the jump on happiness, and that his shaming calls for me to say that I regret it galls. Regret my night? He thinks this will block my ease of heart, and so unwind the clock of joy, but regrets. No, I have none. I'm sad. My time with all of you is done, and I'll not be here in the fall. But I have taught you all, or almost all, what I believe and know. Just one more poem to go. This afternoon here I'll say all I mean. But first, a final word on President Dean. He is a detriment to your education, and he is a fucker. His administration's spray of piss ideas and policies have moistened all the cobbles, bricks, and ivies in this place. He's made it this latrine, this once proud school. Conditions are obscene. The mold's enough to induce toxic shock. The ceiling drips, there's never any chalk. I've loved this place, but please, this rug, this smell that lingers, he's let it go to hell. And as his flaccid soul is best expressed by the laying of rotten eggs in lovely nests, he thrills that mountains and lush woods surround his dilapidated compound. He likes when ugly things invade the good. Last night was case in point. So, if I could now parse that episode just for the books. Our president was on the porch. He looks upon the lawn and squints. Twilight irks and puzzles him. Is that evening lurks within the day, or day is crawling, creeping into night? It's not right. Disrupts the bleeping, dried and cut of things, creates unease. Then, by the hedge, what's that? Big bunnies? Oh no. Oh. No. How quickly dawns the light. Nothing crepusculate about this. It's night and day again, thank God. And so, like that, he leaps upon the sward, dragging that mud mat from the commons room, across the lawn, vaulting the daisies, fuming all his infant anger, gurgling out, pink-faced and shrieking, the mat about his shoulders now, like a blankie flapping there behind. But not for babies napping, no. He throws it over us, we rutting swine. It's rubber backing burned my butt. He would have buried us if he'd had a shovel. But now, he wants us well in view, to grovel, as this is just his nature, his abject game. Hide away all love, make public shame. I found his note inside my box at dawn. A tersely squirted jizz. My job is gone unless I made amends. Permission granted then to offer my submission here in my own class, where the lesson today is kiss my ass. Kiss my ass, Dean. Because my and Mr. Barrow's little scene was all higher education should aspire to be. A fuck in the grass under the old oak tree.
For sure.
And if the poetry of William Blake says anything, if it can manage to wake a single thought in us across the run of centuries, it's that. Fuck someone.
For sure.
Fuck someone. Hard on the echoing green. Beneath the stars and their spears slip low between the roots of the dew and draw breath only to drown in a love so true it's scandal.
For sure.
Write that down.
For sure.
If push is coming now to shove, yes, William Blake was a fan of free love. It said his wife and he would welcome guests while in the garden totally undressed, completely naked, reading Paradise Lost and sipping tea. No doubt that he'd be tossed out of this school. And the London of 200 years ago, good Lord above, of last night's scene, he'd certainly approve. Paint a picture of it for the Louvre. But the point I need to make is this. Yes, his poems, they trumpet risk and freedom, passion on the fly, but always they seek to clarify. Yes, it's good, Blake says, yes, it is, to startle the timid world from its nest, but equally, we need to calm it down and clarify what we have done. No mysteries and nothing hid. Illuminate is what he did. Once again, from Songs of Innocence, sweet and short, yet so immense. Infant joy. I have no name, I am but 2 days old. What shall I call thee? I happy am. Joy is my name. Sweet joy, fall. Pretty joy, sweet joy, but 2 days old. Sweet joy, I call thee. Thou dost smile, I sing the while. Sweet joy, fall. I've said this now 1,000 times, maybe. What's this poem about? A talking baby! A baby that talks! And its mother, let's say, they talk. It's like a little play, with baby saying out of the blue, I have no name, I have but 2 days old. And it's a startling thing, of course, that a baby should bring these words, or words of any kind, to a poem, or that a poem should find that it has chosen a baby's voice. A really quite remarkable choice. Just as what happened on the lawn last night was a remarkable choice. Poems and life are made up of surprise. And this poor mother, you can see her eyes. She must be so alarmed. I'd be too. But see what Blake here has her do. Seek clarity. What shall I call it? Despite alarm or fear, she wants to know. She's open to all this slant world can throw, but needs some clarity. What shall I call it? And then it's on Blake's baby to figure it out. It has to, right? Because what's this poem about?
A talking baby.
Bam! I happy am. Note, happy comes before the am's deployed, as existence is preceded here by joy. I happy am. These 3 words. In all the Western canon, there's never been heard an affirmation of innocence as bold. I happy am. From this mold, this simple frame, joy is my name is the conclusion that it draws. And that's all it says, or needs to say, because it's clear now to its mom. Though it was startling, almost as a bomb being talked at by a 2-day-old, this mother, she is now completely sold, and takes the poem from there, rocking at rest. Thou dost smile, I sing the while, stillness, and peace, and happiness. She knows now what she has there in her arms. The name of it is joy. Cease all alarms. Its name is joy, as joy has taught. Now, why do we read poems? Here's a thought. We read poems so we can repeat them. We read poems so we can repeat them. Either alone, out loud, or in our head, or to others. We like to say what has been said. We read poems so we can repeat them. For ourselves and others, we collect, assemble lines of poetry to throw at life in special situations that feel right. A wedding set. Events that strive to be real, that is, to be poetic. For these, we wheel out our tub of poems to try and boost reality, repeating lines loosed upon 1,000 ways before. But here's what I think this repeating's mostly for. Mostly, we read poems and repeat them with the childlike wish we might become. And infant joy, I think you know by now, is just my favorite. Evidenced by how it's always central in my talks on Blake, and all I talk about is Blake, so make of that just what you will. But outside class, I'm just as bad. Or worse. You cannot pass me by and stay, quote, free no man. How are you, Bernard? I happy am! Trying to shore up first my personal sense of my own personal innocence. Attempting second to create a guise that shows myself as innocently wise and full of wonder, right? The blossom-haired professor of poems that no small college is fair. The infant-like eccentric, yes, that's me. With my eccentric repeating with giggling glee these lines of infant joy. And passively, I watch myself put on this massively ridiculous phony act. You know, like you watch a rerun of a TV show you hate because there's nothing else that's on. Or how I watch my shadow at sunset drawn across a wall, lengthen, fade, and pass with more life than its originating mass. Now I'd have myself repeat these lines, but never once I made them mine. Could never join them in myself, no part. Dissected them, never brushed the heart. Until last night. I read them on the lawn, and that did the trick. All along, I thought I was in love. And yes, I was, for 20 years, have been. But now, because I've been out on that grass and read them there, these lines remade my love. They've stripped it bare. Now, at last, I am this poem. I am joy.
Does thy life destroy?
We had our picnic in the woods, bok choy with almonds, Chardonnay and roasted lamb, and then she let me up. I happy am, I said. She took me by the smallest finger and she led me up the hill to linger at the forest edge a moment more. And then she kissed me and the dress she wore just seemed to fall away. Joy is my name. Our public reading had begun. We came out of the branches then, the dew cold on my shoeless socks. I had been 2 days old. And then I'm on my knees. She scratches my thigh, draws a gentle drop of red, starts to cry, laugh. Then we just go at it hard. You saw heaven drop its guard. Joy and happy, we were the words of this baby, and it was innocence, truly.
In the howling storm.
And Ellen today will back me up on this. With each caress out there, with every kiss, these babies' words became our words. It's not like we remembered them or heard them on the wind. It's like they found a door that opened into us, into our core. I have you. And all my flim-flam, my falseness, all that was like I dreamed it. Even as our president screamed and sprinted from the porch, just happy joy was all I knew. I was a little boy. Albeit one who wanted to have sex. In no other way was this remotely perplexed. Joy is my name, I cried. The president hopped the daisies, and when his mud mat dropped, I happy am, I sang from underneath, even with its rubber in my teeth. I was newborn there in the tacky black, happy, am, no turning back. It's with me still, the whole of it. Just look, these pants were around my knees last night. They took up all the leaves and twigs and moist clover. Look, like they were sucked up with a hoover. Sucked up in love's wild roundelay. Here's some for you. So glad you came today. You know that this is what you took a class in? This stuff right here. Night blooming jasmine. This flower only opens in the dark, so for its pollinators to find the mark, its scent is potent as belief. Here, smell. I want you all to smell. Natalia will tell that what I say is true. Here, take some, yes.
What is this goddamn mess?
Fragile. Almost nothing, but so strong. And our heart. Our heart, whose quiet song won't quit transmitting till it has love's ear. It is all true. Just wait till Ellen gets here, too. She'll say all this much better than me. I think, though, I'll come back. It's just, you see, we haven't seen each other since last night. I came from under that mat just so excited, ready. I could feel my chest ballooning with that love that comes from assuming command of things. I'd shake our president's hand, apologize right there. Then zip up and arrange a meeting for the morning to just clear the air of all the value. And Ellen and I would go straight home to drink a calming tea, talk, cry, sink down on the bed to finish making love. Candles all around, a sheet above our heads pitched like a tent. It wouldn't be the same as being in front of you. We would make it work, I'm sure. But when I came from underneath the mat, Ellen was gone. The president was there, all out of breath and giving me a stare that crawled beneath my face. But she had disappeared, away to the trees. And Dean, he wouldn't shake my hand. He spat, I think. Could that be true? I tried to chat, but he just backed away. And now what Lightner did was gone. I turned and walked all night, all through the woods, calling her. But I am sure she'll teach her class this afternoon right here, and I will come. Together we'll make this clear, and things will be back to normal. Now, please, I need that yellow form. I do. Say you want a grade? Okay. Get it to me by the end of the day. Sorry, I'm a tiny bit hoarse. Again, apologies for any shock. For those of you in Ellen's course, I'll see you here at 2 o'clock.
Now, take a breath. I'm eager to work to death a topic that is death itself. Enough of Dean, of President Elf, of every goblin, every troll. I'm here this afternoon with you to fold the final lecture on the songs of Blake. I'm here to cry for love, to sing, to wake, and not spin discourse on pathetic frauds, on sorry motherfuckers and dickwads. I'm here to find my joy in thought, the thought that spoke aloud, revealed, deftly caught. But in these songs of experience, yes, we find one poem not spoke of yet, one left behind till now, inside it's dark. This rose, sick rose. In 1793, we think composed. It's usually ninth in the 25 or so experienced poems, a modest spot to grow, so slight, one might just overlook this flower. But in its coyness is its horror. O rose, thou art sick. The invisible worm that flies in the night, in the howling storm, has found out thy bed of crimson joy, and his dark secret love does thy life destroy. Blake here has not so much a poem to give, more a prognosis, shockingly negative. This Rose's life, a life of crimson joy, will not just end or fade. The words destroy. Destroyed by this worm, all wrapped in night, invisible. Its flight, an agent of all that which Blake called ill. The secret, the dark, invisible. It's what I've been at all this term. The sickness here is not this worm invisibility. Itself undermines these petals' health. Every mystery that we please to clench within becomes disease. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. It's the theme that runs throughout the songs. The hidden all are all the world's wrongs. But only here would William have you see an image of invisibility. An aim of every poet, Blake as well, is to most times show as much as tell. That is, place fleshed and concrete things before the reader's eye in this Blake's great story. His poems desire first to offer us a world we feel, a world we almost touch. But here we find that desire overturned in service of this less than noble worm. This worm, you cannot see or sense it, as William Blake prevents it. First, he tells you it's invisible. Okay, you think, all right, but well, I certainly still can't picture it, a worm. But how to keep that picture firm in mind when it is one that flies at night? An invisible worm at night. Does that invite to your inner eye a crystal visualization? No. Well, let's advance the obfuscation and throw our blank, benighted grub into a howling storm. And further rub it from the page by using this word worm, much like the things it means, a word that's worms. It's Beowulf's dragon, or one of old France, or the worm of earth that his friend took lands, or Shakespeare's worm of the bud, pestilent larvae, which, yes, would fit, except they do not fly and aren't invisible. It's just, ugh. And even if you could perceive this bug, there is one last invisibility, tucked within its unseen cavity. This dark, secret love. That's the killer. The love that hides itself. The love that fills your rosy heart with a love no one can know. Just as this poem can never itself show. All this poem shows is that which Blake most hates. A shroud, a failure to illuminate. This nothing worm. It's like a mud mat that some furious fuck, he rushes at his page with splat. So yes, it's just like Dean. I'm sorry. Yes, I really didn't mean to bring it back to that, but there it is. Even my mind is his. My mind he's overthrown. I hate this poem. We read poems so to live as poems, to build from thought and song a home. We read poems so to live as poems, and this last night was to be a poem, sprung out from all I've known, with liquid moans from throat like milk and stones, the sloshing glint
scent of the wine from the bottle fading behind. As we went up the hill, my dress, it fell like water. And Bernard, you could tell, I think, we were composing then. And what we'd be tomorrow, or have been, meant nothing there. I know he seems a fool at times, but he can love. Could run a school for love. It should be easy. Joy. It should come when we call, when we deploy such artful forces to draw and coax and flush it out. We should needs just lay down and brush the flies away and open up. But Dean, he came with his holler and jump, his mat, his shroud, to make my poem this rose, sick rose. And so I suppose he wins, has won. It's done. For having sex in public, let me say, it's different. Yes, it is. Because, hey, imagine, please, the most amazing sex behind closed doors. The kind you feel connects you to the universe and everyone, where your self just melts and you're undone inside the world. All seems vast expanse. Well, imagine that same tantric trance of openness when you're out in the open. The actual world is there for you to flow in. The humankind whose soul you would be immersed in, well, it happens that they're there in person. You find a skin you never knew was there. And this is happiness. And this is rare. But too, it puts you in a delicate state. You're open to love, not braced for shrieking hate, not braced for swaddling in a sticky mat. And it breaks you bad, apparently. That is all it takes, that single little shove. For in that moment there, in case the love I've felt for my one man for 20 years, that love I've known was strong, as halted tears. I felt it curl away, just sigh and go. Decline its leading role in our small show. That's fascinating, isn't it? That love can die in just a flit. Like anything else, not always slow. I'm dying. Did you know? I have a tumor. Here. The size of, well, potato is the word I use. I spell it out because I like to spell, you know. The doctor, though, he just held his hands like so. The doctor, just last week, he did a mime, as if, feared to waste our quality time, we'll talk. And so, like a street clown, thought to busk, letting me unwrap his meaning's husk. A cryptic diagnosis, much like Blake's, for his doomed rose. The kind that makes it difficult to see just What's inside of me? It's cancer, sure. But look, aside from gestures and that word, what have I got? Please say. Most cancer is named for the part it rots. Brain, breast, mouth, liver, lung. But my potato has made its home among so many with such tendrils that, indeed, if they should try to pick it, I would bleed to death. The point being, though, it's so ample, its name cannot be simple, and so it's nameless, like a newborn babe. Potato. That will have to, I'm afraid we'll have to do. It's shocking. Do you agree? That people die. Especially ones like me. I keep forgetting that it's true. It's real. We should, you'd think, give it some appeal. I'm going to lose my life. I've lost my heart. It has on me a small head start off this chained earth. But, focus now. I'm going to lose my life. I wonder how repeating that improves my readiness. What is this goddamn mess? I was all night in the forest, comfortably trapped behind that stand of maples that they tapped, avoiding Mr. Barrow. Sometime late, I heard him walking by. He was elated, that's how he sounded. Called my name so cheerfully, but it seemed all the same to me if I called back or not. A watch, if I came out, and there were hugs and sloshy kisses. We went back to our place, drank tea, fell to bed to interlace again with candles, incense, and concertos. Moaning, sighing, come on, come up, to Arabs. What would be the difference? Couldn't say. Between me staying in the woods till day alone or going with Bernard, I couldn't say. And so, till dawn, I wouldn't leave my crouching spot. I crouched the night away and gnawed around this grim insight. If love can die, how then can it be true? So frail, what? Can it also catch the flu? A proper God's immortal. That's his job. I think we were two quite desperate Slavs. Desperation is so easy to confuse with love. Both make you queasy through the hollow in your throat. Both make you tremble, bulge your eyes, cause you to resemble most a kitten in a bear trap. Undergone a spinal tap. Both make your heart go pitter-pat. Yes, drop a pint of sweat on your mattress. So easy to confuse one's panic for passion. For 20 years. Really? Just desperation? Each kiss and pinch and brush aside of bangs? Sleepy scoldings? Breakfast nods? Harangues against each other's taste and mustard? All those jokes and laundry. Standing flustered by a broken van trying to bicker in the mountain wind. Poems, the sex. His snicker when he pitched a thumb-smudged magazine across the room and said, "There's what I mean in there. I circled it, with arrows too." The songs, the hairs in the mouth, the swatch of blue we came to agree on once. I can't renew these now. As memories, they sidle through my days and nights like drab, exhausted strangers. How did I each moment perjure myself? I guess with every pinch and kiss, I wanted of each day a fatted bliss, so how could it possibly come down to this absurd defeat? Love's memory, pressed flat as a discarded scab by a man with a mat. Love's memory is hid or dead, and so love never was. It never. No. These are just sulking words, dull messengers of thought stirred from some infected puddle of my mind. I'm just unhinged by death and Dean. Behind these sodden clouds, there is a lamp. I know, a light. My love was real. I have to fight against this sorry state. Today, this hour, I'll resuscitate one thing at least. If not the whole of love, I'll dig a crumb out of this Hubbard's cupboard. Here comes Bernard. I thought he might. And that's all I should need, to see his face here with you in light, a trace at least of what I felt will not have perished. I'll find it here, among these things I've cherished always. Students, Blake, Bernard, this room, and here, in the shine and breeze of this afternoon, I'll give the lesson of this final day. How to seek that bit of love that stays around, whatever that might be, the thing that hooks itself inside the heart and clings there past all craziness. Some brief candle in his face, his voice will prove I did not stand alone. Along this road I walked with him.
Hi! Here I am! I'm here! I ran! Sorry, some of you I told I'd be here right at 2. Meant to be on time, excuse me. Up all night, you see. I took a nap at 1 and overslept. I wish you hadn't begun. But that's okay, I'm here, I ran. Oh God, oh dear. I missed you, where were you? Just out there, thinking through all this?
Just in the woods.
All night? I looked there, where?
Yes, all night.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was the nap I blamed for my delay. It was a nap that had no care for clocks. You know of what I speak. It's like there's rocks behind your eyes, some ancient weight-drunk stones that, by their brutish density alone, squeeze out your cognizance of time, crush all your alarms and urgencies to mush, turn consciousness to punctured bubble wrap. I'm sorry I'm late. I had that kind of nap. I wanted both of us together here this afternoon, with all of you this near and light, as I believe proximity might help you all to see, quite literally, with clear sight, just what love is. It's this. And when Blake speaks of his love, it is the same. And it's the same as last night's effort to express. The vital difference here is that we're dressed. Not pumping away in distant shrubbery and what perhaps seems shadowed mummery. And when we say we're sorry here together for this thing we did that caused displeasure and distress, such an apology, by dint of being from 2, will be more lovely, yes? We've said we're sorry on our own, but now relax. And see how we atone in unison, I think, to make it fun. On 3, is that all right? Then we're done. On 3, we'll say, we're sorry for the fuss. 1, 2, 3, we're sorry. What's wrong?
What's wrong? Oh, Mr. Barrow.
What? You haven't, have you? Said you're sorry. But that's, it's just not that big of a deal.
No, I suppose if that's how you feel.
I do, don't you?
Well, apparently the world's made mad by sex and poetry. That you should ask that I apologize to Dean, that you should ask that I chastise myself so that you might be forgiven anon for the fucking you received upon the lawn last night.
That's not...
A quite remarkable request. Do you think I'd be amenable, me, who has perhaps 2 months to live? You think it's just fine with me to give that self-important stump his satisfaction? And why? As part of a ritual preparation for death, perhaps. Before my flesh is dressed with herbs and oil, before a coin is pressed beneath my tongue to pay the ferryman, I am to kneel before the ferryman responsible for...
For what? For what? Just what's Dean done exactly that's so wrong?
The cuts he's made to arts, to science.
Yes, each department save our own. He's let us teach exactly what and as we please. For sure, the budget moves he's had to make, they were perhaps.
It's been a relished happiness for me and Mr. Barrow to express for 15 years our laughing, joyful disdain of that so temptingly mockable drip, that stain on this secluded glade, our home, right? Right? Or is my mind a ghost, a flight of creaking stairs in place of memory? For shite's sake, he stands there asking me what Dean has done. Assault and battery with a mighty
It
run.
doesn't matter! How could it? How could anything ever? We had our moment. Nothing can sever us from that. Not campus politics. Not death. Not even death. Not all the sickness this earth can vent. As I was saying this morning, certain joys are safe, able to ignore the implorings of misery, the seductions of despair. Professor Parker and I were blessed to share in an invulnerable ecstasy, the kind that's like the sun, the cauldron of space, the wind. It insists that it is sovereign, free from human time and the sucking soft fen of doubt and mortal ends.
If that were true, then really what's the reason for me or you to bother with apologies? Why say we're sorry for realizing an unassailable bliss?
Because...
Just wait before you strain yourself with more of this. I didn't feel... I'm sorry, I have to confess. I didn't feel it. Your moment.
Yes, I know that's what you think.
Oh, God!
Last night, this morning too, I know I couldn't quite admit that you had had a different response, or it appeared at least that your needs and wants were not fulfilled.
I ran away and hid!
Because you were embarrassed! What we did was stark and strange and yes, ridiculous. That's what happens when love uses us to show itself down here. Love lumbers to this low dimension awkwardly and pins you like a flinching moth against its cage. Rarely is there elegance or grace, especially if your flesh is of a certain age. Why we tend to draw a curtain over the slobbering, the moistened jiggle, and the Our actions wriggle, it's clumsy, sweat-caked absurdity most times eclipses its sublimity, as was the case last night with us out there. And now I've had my nap, it's so clear. You think you felt nothing but shame, embarrassment. Embarrassment, though, is just love's surface tint. It's light veneer, a taint that will be rinsed away so easily when we've convinced this college that we're sorry for the flap we caused. And then both they and you can tap into the deeper truth of what was done. Please.
Where have you gone? My only one. He was a poet, once. No more, it appears. A poet would never fret about veneers or taints of embarrassment. It was his boast that poetry is famously the most embarrassing of literary endeavors. And he well knows the muse bestows no favors on the easily humiliated. There he is, stuffed, bloated, weighted down with shame, inventing fancy reasons for the both of us to crawl, treason to the poet's creed.
You're really twisting.
Why though? What's to be gained assisting degradation?
I've explained.
Explained? No, you dodged. Last week were those tears feigned? When I got my diagnosis, he was there and he was desperate and he wept. So wherefore now all this goddamn good cheer? Because of one ridiculous appearance on that muddy turf? Well, then I'm glad. Because this happy turnabout you've had just illustrates so well a thought I touched on earlier, how death at times is clutched so tightly to our minds and then so coolly skims away to seem a fiction. Truly,
Ellen,
I'm trying to
Ellen.
explain your newly minted callousness, Bernard. Truly, this to all Blake's hunks, this is the key. We play too much within death's mystery. We swear that death's by every measure true one day, and next, it's just this somewhat blue and misty end to some odd fairy tale. And from these two extremes, we build a jail in our mind. With innocence, we fling death off and make a talking baby king a chatty tot, sets all the turns. And with experience, this worm is what doth ride in every fucking thing, coiling its curse inside each molecule of the universe. Now, both these views are false in large degree, and twitching back and forth between them, we depart that slow sea and shore inside of us, that strand forever calm and wide, where we might wade, breathe, and linger, fusing life with the real. But, strangely oft, when choosing neither of you, we're choosing one too much, as Mr. Barrow has done here with such evangelistic vigor, full of praise, full of bright boast and huzzas for the ways of the innocent, believing more than ever now in babies that converse in clever meter and endearing rhyme, dragging out this poem for the 100th time, infant joy again. But now, because of our fair sport upon the sod, what was just charming verse is now his gospel text. Good Lord, a talking baby. Please, what next? There's no such thing.
Don't listen to her! Last night there was. Last night we were. This poem is true. Our joy is always there. All it asks is that we let it share its name with
You
us.
do not understand this poem. You got it wrong.
Its sole
This
demand.
poem's a poem of nagging small sorrow. The melancholy of one who has to borrow happiness, receive it secondhand from her own nattering child, whose sole demand is that she recognize that it is joy, not her. No, she remains unnamed.
Oh boy.
Thou dost smile, I sing the while. Do you not hear the sad sigh there? The sigh that surely every parent shares, sensing what joy they feel, is rather shoddy, a shadow of the joy their kids embody. What's feeling joy compared to being joy? Blake's thought has more savor than this cloying treacle you've been spooning out for years and passing off his scholarship. See,
Treacle?
he was a folk singer. The Ring of Promised Wonder being the weird name of his quartet. A name these days he blames on me.
I credit you! She wrote it on my chest in gouache, diluted with Ceylon Silvertips tea and burgundy that night, remember?
This balladry was all some time ago. We were in school. Bernard, a third-year freshman.
This is cruel!
I, a fourth-year grad. The point is, though, a folk singer, which is fine, as far as that goes. But he just couldn't find the time to read or study. God forbid something impede the composing of his full-brained odes to truth and flowers. He ignored my goads that he gained some acquaintance with the craft and history of the poet, and he laughed at the idea of earning a degree of any sort.
This isn't you!
When he, in time, saw that the Ring of Promised Wonder had, no wonder, little promise, under
imprimatur of some humble press, he published his lyrics as poems. And he's found success, though slight in a few overnight reviews, and this alone with my good word, he used to get a job here, teaching this one class on songs of innocence. The years have passed, 15, and through the years, with every song, he's just made it up as he goes along. And most times, like I say, he gets it wrong.
Stop! Stop! You love my music, my songs. She drove 1,000 miles with my band. Wrote her dissertation in the back of the van wrapped up in a speaker blanket. You love the Ring of Promised Wonder! She was there at every gig. What is this now? What are you saying? What? Tell me how it is you're out there soaking up the moon with me last night, and here this afternoon I'm just a dope, a hack, a fraud. Look, the truth is, back then, she's the one who took my lyrics to her friends at that small press and bared her fangs at them till they said yes and hired her to edit the damn thing. You love my songs.
But if I heard you sing one now today, I don't think I would know it. Something's happened. That mat last night, below it, something happened. The whole world was drained out of itself and in a rush seemed faint and hollow. Love, our woods, your songs went gray inside my head and turned into display. They're packs of plaster. All is parody. A parody of things my memory can't dimly recognize. That mat was bad. It somehow falsified this life we've had, and yes, I didn't want that to be true. Spent all night in the woods avoiding you, wanting it to not be true. And when I got Dean's pissy note this morning, then I realized he wanted to be true. Came to class this day, determined to reclaim my life and passion, and I said, Bernard will come. I'll seek him and be jarred out of this funk. I told him all that you, with William Blake inside this room, I knew of nothing I loved more, and I would strive to find that bit of love still left alive, a shard of the real. But then you trotted in, demanding we do penance for our sins, absolving Dean of his and being a dick, just generally. I don't know how the trick was done, Bernard, but our love is a rose. This rose, sick rose. Or worse, the love we chose did not choose us. Not sick, it never was.
I take it back then. No apologies. And Dean, forget him. He's a nothing, no one. It can't be that we're undone by him or by his mat. I don't want you to die and leave me thinking we were both of us deceived.
I don't know what has done it, but it's done. I'm sorry. If I could find just one thought in this dying mind, one memory that told me we were real, then believe me, I would ask you now to stick around. But just as I will drop down to the ground alone I'll teach my final class. Please go.
I won't.
Bernard,
I won't.
an impasse. And a question for the ages, yes? A lover spurned, and feels he must address the problem in a very public place, there with his victim partner, face to face. This makes in movies for sweet comedy. In life, it's like uninvited sodomy.
Stop it!
Creating awkward tension.
Don't talk to me like this!
So,
Our love is like the joy of the
like
millions. It is not
or
born,
summon
it
the
does
palace
not
bar.
die or fail.
Here, take
The
notes.
poets
Let's see
haven't
what
just
this
been
one-
I'm okay. I thought it was. It's just a little hot.
It's warm milk. I'm sorry, Bernard. Really. I'm sorry, but I'm lost. I look at us and only see a mock-up, a sort of sketch. At best, a brittle crust beneath which there is nothing but a thread of vapor, maybe, or a puff from trodden-upon fungus. Nothing life or love can hold to. I don't want your litter, your mess. I've got one thing to hold to now. It's this. We were almost not nothing. Almost not nothing. But Nothing nonetheless, as there was nothing.
Stop! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What?
President Dean?
Despicable! Despicable!
Get out of my classroom!
This is my classroom! Every classroom on this campus is my classroom!
Is it really you?
But you're not sure? I'm right here! I've been here all day!
Get out!
Be quiet!
Get out, you shit-sucking fuck!
You will stop! You will stop with that language! I have listened to it all hour. I have suffered it, waiting in the hopes you might work out these problems.
Suck it, you fucking...
I will prosecute! I will have you arrested for last night's dalliance. You will spend the last months of your life wrapped up in court proceedings.
Now you
quiet! I'm so tired. I've been up all night too, you know, thinking this out. Up all night, walking the forest, walking the campus, then to sit there in that seat for the morning class and again for this one. How could you not see me? I've come throughout the years, for 15 years, to both your classes. Never have you acknowledged me. Never have our eyes met. I have raised my hand even. On occasion I have stood even and raised my hand and never. Have you noticed me? No! It's madness! I'm sorry, I'm really feeling a little, you have a nap at least. I have not slept. And both your lectures, sure, which seemed very good, language aside, still over my head, I have to admit, I will never understand William Blake. Though I have strained and strained to for 15 years now, morning and afternoon at your lectures. A good effort on my part. I can tell you're onto something. I feel so close to it, just a hair beyond my grasp.
I'm sorry to hear that. Our time is up this afternoon. The yellow forms, I need them soon, so...
No, I want them to stay. Please stay. Of course, if you have a final or something pressing, then go. But I have something to say, and I'd like people to stay.
Well, I'm leaving. You can arrest me, you can clap me in irons, toss me in your lowest dungeon.
I love you!
It's better than I'm walking with this song.
I love you!
What?
I love you. I love the both of you. In my tiny, invisible way. All these years you've lectured here, and for years before. I have all your albums.
Both of them?
All of them, yes! I play them as I go to bed, and right when I get up, I came to all your concerts. 20 years ago, like you, I drove that 1,000 miles through Cambridge, Ithaca, through the White Mountains, and Green, every show right up front.
You are lying.
No, you will not cancel this out. You will not brush this away. I need something.
I'm sorry, it's impossible.
What do you know? I'm the one who knows. The concealed love is the love that knows, because it is the love that is truly undemanding. It is not muddled by demands. Its sight is clear, and it cannot be doubted, because who would doubt it? Nobody knows it is paper.
I have seen you.
But you didn't see me! I was right there! You see only yourself, your big ideas, your passions, your catastrophes, and you see nothing. You say your love is delusion. It is not delusion. I am witness to its truth. I am a product of it. All my adult heart is the result of it. And I made it possible.
Oh, no!
Excuse me?
I made it possible. I have stayed on as president of this dilapidated compound to make it possible. I hired you about 15 years ago to make it possible. Of course, Bernard isn't qualified to lecture at any institution of higher learning, even with your recommendation. He's a folk singer.
Right.
I shuffled the papers to make it possible. I'm a terrible administrator. I know this. I have only stayed on so that the two of you might stay on, and My personal funds, a good portion of my salary, all of my inheritance, I have sunk into this dump so that we could stay in this dump together, the three of us, in this dump surrounded by these wonderful mountains and forests, nestled here in this garden, this fresh air, the stars so clear at night. I have made all of this possible for you.
This is obscene.
Obscene? Obscene? What you say William Blake would have us do, I have done. Envisioned and actualized a paradise, a garden of love here on earth for you. I have given all for you so that you could love and play and talk of rhyme and meter and grand good ideas in a garden. And for 15 years, as the endowment has dried up and the enrollment has plummeted, I have thrilled to see you holding hands at lunch or stealing a kiss behind the library. Thrilled to be so near true tenderness, genuine love. Genuine would I have done all that I have done if it was not genuine. But now you've taken an axe to the whole thing!
You watched us behind the library?
It is wrong to have sex in front of other people! Always wrong, am I right? Always wrong! Even though, yes, of course, it was so beautiful, so exciting. See, the two of you have never felt so excited. Like a blister finally popped in my heart. I was free, spirited away. That's why I rushed out. My body was so suddenly so alive. I had to run and check and play. I grabbed the map because it was just there. It was an impulse. It had no meaning. You didn't give it all this meaning. For me, it was just the thing you grab and run with, like a child has a towel and places it behind it like a hero's tank, just to sail in the wind. All of a sudden, I didn't want to watch from the sidelines. I wanted to be with you, to join with you. But that was wrong. And you were wrong to do this. Just look what's happened. You think you're not in love? That you've never been in love?
Unbelievable! We've been on display for 15, 20 years? How far did you take this exactly? Cameras in our bedroom?
Oh, no.
What
no,
then?
I don't like cameras.
What then? What then?
I've looked through your window. I've been in your closet.
Well, we were!
It doesn't matter! No! What matters is you have to apologize.
I felt this. This is what I knew beneath that mat. Something falls. You had always been there behind the shadows.
Maybe we should take a break. Go back to my office and talk and pray. Then we can call a school assembly for after dinner, and you can do it there.
Do what there?
Fix this. Please, fix this. Apologize. Say you didn't mean it. That you didn't mean for them to see anything. Didn't mean for it to be in public. That's all the parents on the board need to hear, I think. I hope. That's all I need to hear. Bernard is right. You have to calm the waters so that things can return for the two of you to how they were before, so you can stay on here in this place. And yes, of course, I will leave. I can understand you might not want to have me around. It'll be far more than enough for me to know that the two of you are here, safe and in love for the last days of Ellen's life. And two, when you're gone, I want Bernard to stay on. We'll bury you by that hedge. A proper place to grieve, please.
What is this? I'm not going to stay on. I'm not going to do anything you say. We're not going to apologize or have an assembly. I'm not qualified to speak to these young people. I thought I was qualified. And oh yes, ever since last night I've been saying I'm more than qualified to speak on love and William Blake, but it's a joke. You've said it. I have no business here. And all these years have been a show for you. You fuck. You fuck. Fuck you, you demented fucker. Perverted shit. You sick, shitty shit. Fucking bastard.
Stop it! Of course there's something wrong with me. Do you think I'm insane? That I have no perspective of any kind? Of course I'm not entirely decent or healthy. But this is not about me. This is about you and the poetry. How do you think poetry and love ever come to exist? Never come to be real? It happens when it happens because somewhere, a hand up into a quiet, peaceful place, the forests, the mountains.
Well, you have failed. There's no love here in these forests, these mountains. There's no poetry. Only phoniness, self-delusion, and cancer death. And a perverted fuck.
A woman, I am not the issue.
If you had not given me this job 15 years ago, Ellen and I would have gone our separate ways. Happily or not, that's how it would have been. But you coaxed me into this charade, this Potemkin village. God, fuck it.
God, please, please! This is all coming undone. This setup, my trickery, it has no bearing on your love being real or not. Your love, your happiness is real. You're both confused because you had sex in public! You had sex in public and now she's calling you names and saying terrible things. You don't mean the things you said, you don't.
Of course she means them. She's the only one who's had the right idea all day long. You were right. It was all almost not nothing. You were right.
No, please, stop! I'm so turned around. So exhausted. This is all crashing to dust. And I'm no good with words. And I am a worm, and those other things you said, and I've foisted a false thing upon you, but you have to believe me. I have been with you all along. I've seen it all. And I know. 20 years. I know. I was there at the start. When she sat in the front rows closest there, and you sang Fall Down to her. And the rest of us, the audience, meant nothing. It was all to her. I felt myself turn invisible then. That moment. And I've been invisible ever since. How could I be made invisible by something that is false? You sang to her, and she heard and knew no other voice, no other poem but yours. Come fall down on this bed.
Stop it.
And
Stop it!
all
Stop it!
goddamn sing it! Shut up!
Let him sing it, Bernard.
What?
No, you sing it. You sing it.
Not gonna be
I want
any.
to hear him.
What? Me?
Shut
No.
up! I want to hear this.
Why?
I need to see you sing the goddamn song. Sing it! Sing Ball Down. Sing it.
I don't need any of this.
Stay where you are, Barrow. Go. Sing it. Crawl out of your hole and sing it.
Come fall down.
Louder, so the back row can hear. But to me, sell it.
Come fall down.
To me!
Come fall down on this bed just once. And all but once. This once my heart will die. Come on, come on. You'll make me cry enough in days to come. Just fall now once, just once, down on this bed of mine. Come and dig.
All right.
So there you are. The thing that puts itself inside the heart and clings there past all craziness. Why does love die? To resurrect and prove its magic. That's why. It's not concerned with what is false or real, with worms or roses, what's seen or what's concealed. It dies to live, to die, to live again. Anciently new, it's now is made of then. I forgot, yet knew this all along.
God, that really is a crappy song.
No!
Crappy song.
It's not. It wasn't.
You see, she said so! She said so! She says it's not a bad song, and it's her opinion that counts. You just have to sing it to her again. You just have to stand right here and make the rest of us disappear and sing it to her again. And then she'll know. And then she'll know why she and you have to apologize. Because love needs a quiet place. Sing it. Sing it. Please. Please. Just.
What are you doing? Get up! Get up!
Is he breathing?
Come on, get up.
Ah!
Get up.
Oh, I don't think she's
What's wrong with you?
Get up!
No, Bernard.
Get up!
Bernard.
Get up!
Wait,
Get
Bernard,
up!
put him down. No, stop.
Wake up!
Bernard.
Wake up! You
No, of course not.
What is the matter with you?
Bernard, stop. Somebody help me.
Wake
Get away from him. Oh, I think he's dead. Oh, I think you killed him.
I'm sorry!
Come on, wake up.
Please wake up.
Wake up.
Jasmine! Jasmine!
Oh dear. You want some water? Does anyone have any water?
No water, just need to sit.
Put it against here.
Did I faint?
You're gonna be alright.
You have to sing to her.
Oh,
We should get a doctor.
No more attention on me. You have to sing to her.
just relax, be quiet.
Are you sure you're all right? I can get you some water.
You have to apologize.
There's a little bottle in here.
You know, I wanted to ask. Did you spit at me?
What?
Last night, when I came out from under the mat, you spit on me.
What? No.
They all saw it.
No.
Drink this.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I was just so excited. It was so very exciting. I'm sorry it didn't mean anything. You shouldn't really attach any meaning to anything I do. I'm nothing. It's the two of you. You have to fix things. It was wrong to do what you did in front of other people.
fix it.
You will fix it.
I'll fix it.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry. We've run a bit over today. But before you go, I have to say that I'm proud, so happy to have been your teacher here, outside Earth's limping spin. Now get those yellow forms to me tomorrow. There's one last thing, though. Mr. Barrow, I now elevate this class above the question of what is genuine in love. For love itself obscures what's genuine from lovers' love-hot minds. What's false therein, however, we can hope to find. This school, it seems, is false. And now that its misrule, deceit, and craven head have been unveiled, I think it would be best this college failed. And so, toward that end, I offer this reprise. Will you have sex with me in public, please?
What? Here?
Let's try again, without the mat.
No. No, stop that!
I think this time our president's too frail to join the dance.
He's not.
Your parents, they'll be interested to know what goes on here. Be sure you tell them. Make it graphically clear.
No, don't!
I forgot how much I like that song.
I'll sing it for you if
This is wrong!
No, that's all right. Undo this button, pray.
Do you love me?
Hearts can't say what's in there now when dizzied by their future. This heart knows one thought, our coming suture, delay no more.
How is it you don't care?
I don't want you to die.
Can't help you there.
Don't watch this. Don't watch this! I won't watch! Stop! I won't watch!
Come fall down.